What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Daily Misfire. Today's gonna be a fun teardown video of my new 388 small block Chevy. I bought this guy for $800 off Facebook Marketplace, and all it needed was pistons because the pistons I want are not nitrous pistons, and this thing has like 12.5-to-1 nitrous pistons in it. And so we're gonna be tearing it down, pulling the crank out of it. We're gonna do a quick inspection on everything, but mostly this is just gonna be kind of a tear down, look at everything, make sure it's all okay. And kind of show you how I will tear down a motor that I know is good, and just making sure bearings are good, you know, check the bores, all that stuff. Then we're gonna dig a hole in the block, prep the block to make sure it is good to go, and then we're gonna put a bag on it. We might clean it. I might pressure wash it, I'm not sure yet. But at least we'll put a bag on the block itself and make sure it's good, basically until we're ready to mess with it, because I'm going to buy some pistons and have the rotating assembly balanced, and then we'll be able to put it back together, hopefully before the spring, so that the Nova's ready to rock and roll with a new engine. And hopefully I'm going to have the transmission gone through and make sure it's good, because I really don't want to grenade the 7R4. So, and this thing might do it, especially this Pro Max head sitting on the shelf. So with that being said, I'll show you a quick rundown on the engine first, and then we'll kind of get into it. And you're gonna work with me and learn as I go, because I've never had a motor that has a scat crank, scat rods, and has ARP studs. I've never had a motor with studs before. So we're gonna learn together as I pull this out. If you're a guy that's had a lot of stud motors and stuff like that, you know, you're gonna be like, it's easy, you're fine. But I've never had it personally, so this is kind of a learning experience for me. So as I previously stated, scat rods, these are the really, really nice H-beam scat rods. This is a cast steel scat crank. So this is the lightweight 6000 series scat crank. It is a 3.75 inch stroke, which is a 383 stroke. And this motor has been bored 60 over, which that's just because when the guy, he had it gone through, it was a nitrous motor on his little S10. And the last time he pulled it out, he had the machine shop go through it. And they ended up honing it and boring it over to 60 just to make sure all the cylinders were cleaned up and ready to good to go. But as far as the block itself, I don't see any big issues as far as anything goes. There's a little bit of, on the mating surface where the heads and stuff are, there's a little bit of a chutzpah, but it's nothing that's, I'll show you when we get to that point. It's nothing to be concerned about. The only thing with this engine is that the pistons in it are, one, they're mismatched, and two, they're nitrous pistons. So I don't know if I can really show you very well. Yeah, you can see how big of a lip on that one is, and that one, and that one. I have one out already because I was checking rod size, because I wasn't sure if these were 5, 7, or 6 inch rods. These are 6 inch rods, but you can see they're really, really nice JE pistons, forged, very, very hot rod stuff. I ran the number on that piston. It's a 12.3 or 12.5-to-1 piston, I think is what this one is. But yeah, good H-beam rods. For what I'm doing, this guy said that he winged this motor up to like 7,800, 7,500 RPM. For what I'm doing, it's basically gonna be put in retirement. I mean, the bottom end's gonna be totally fine for what I'm doing. I normally rarely shift higher than 68. So for this motor, it'll be totally fine for my car. It'll basically, like I said, it'll basically be in retirement. But we're gonna pull each one of these rods out. We'll go through and check the crank and everything. When I pulled the one rod out, the crank looks basically brand new. The bearings on it were standard, so the crank hasn't been turned, so that's a good sign. Yeah, so we're gonna pull everything apart. We'll check all the cylinders over, make sure they're all good. From what I've seen so far, all the cylinders look good. But we'll pull each one of the caps off and kind of go from there. So let's get into it. Okay, so I got those first two off, and I don't know if this is the right way of going about it, but what I'm pretty much doing is, because they have these really fancy bolts and they have the multiple point heads on them, I actually have the I don't know remember what these Craftsman sockets are. I got these years ago. But basically they're for like, you know, either stripped out bolts or things like that, but they're just perfect for these actually. Each one of the ARP bolts has a 7/16 head on it. So I've been using that guy. And what I've been doing, like I said, I don't know if this is the right way of going about it or not, but as you saw, what I do is I get the bolt the bolts out, and then I just lightly tap on it with the back of my silicone hammer. So this is my rubber mallet, and I just basically tap like that. And I'll tap it easy enough to where they come out the way, you know, without any struggle kind of a deal. And then I'll just walk them out as we go. So like I said, I don't know if this is the right way of doing it, but I know I'm not going to hurt anything doing it this way. And again, I'm not probably going to be using these pistons at all. So if anyone needs some spare pistons, let me know. If they have a 12.5 inch or 12.5 to 1 nitrous motor or anything like that, let me know. You know, I have some pistons for you potentially. But yeah, I'm going to get the rest of them off real quick. We're going to rotate the engine around as we go to make it easier on ourselves. And there's actual specific tools for this, but all I'm going to be using is I have a bolt at the end of the crank, and it's a 5/8 head, and I'll just be using a regular wrench. I'll be going after this one next. This engine rotates over so easy. It's super, super nice. So I'm also going to get the oil pump drive and stuff off after I get all these out. But I just wanted to get the pistons out first and kind of inspect everything, go over everything as we go. So yeah, let me get these out. I'll put you on a time lapse real quick and we'll roll through it. Okay, so we got all the bolts off. Some of the studs actually came out. I'm having never worked with a studded motor. I don't know if they're actually supposed to come out when you pull them all out. I don't know if you're supposed to use an impact or just, you know, pull them out as you go. But it doesn't seem like any of them were actually tight, which makes sense because the guy that I got it from basically said they started putting the motor together just to kind of put something together, and then they lost interest and just kind of went from there. And then that's when he ended up selling it. So I don't know if that means that these, I would assume that all of this has been clearanced already and has been checked and line honed for the studs, I would assume. I don't know that, but that's something we'll have to check when we go to reassemble this motor, is just to make sure that all the bearings and everything's actually lined up the way it needs to be. But as far as pulling main caps off, there's a couple ways you can do it. You just make sure you have them all lined up and organized on how they came off. It's not that big a deal. You just gotta kind of pay attention. And someone has already numbered these 1 through 5, which is super easy. But basically these are the only 3 that are the same with any motor. And then obviously the front and the back are the front and back. Typically, the back one is gonna be the worst one as far as the main bearings go, because that's where the oil filter is. That's where the oil pump is. Everything goes through here first. So typically this is the first one I check, just because it's gonna be the worst. So with that being said, you just lightly tap the side of it and it comes right off. And with that, it looks super clean. As you can see, the bearing itself looks really, really clean. There's a little bit of oil on it. Crank looks good. So I am enthused about that as far as that goes. We'll set that guy right there. I'll move some of this stuff out of the way. But we'll work on getting this guy off. We'll just kind of lightly just let it move. And you just kind of wiggle it off. Same deal, looks super, super clean, which is good. All right, so with that being said, I am pretty confident the rest of them are gonna be like that. So we will grab the others and make sure they're just the same. There's a little bit of wear on that guy right there on the very lip. You can see a little bit of side load. You can see a little bit of side load on that bearing right there. Now, saying that, I don't know if these bearings were actually used in this motor. They could have just been put in here. That could have been before it had all the machine work done on it the last time. But saying that, I don't see anything that's blaringly bad so far. So that is a good sign. We'll just... Has a few little scars in that one, but nothing bad. Same goes for the crank house. I don't feel anything on the crank itself. That one is a little difficult there. This one looks like it just has assembly scratches on it. Again, nothing bad. Crank. Looks good, feels good. All right, and now that we have all that out, we'll pull the crank out. We'll check everything over on the crank. We'll check everything over on the rods, make sure all the rods are good, make sure we don't see any bends, no cracks on the rods, make sure we don't see any cracks or anything in the crank. And then we'll kind of bag it, we'll put it all to the side, and then when I get pistons, we'll take it to the machine shop, have everything balanced up, and then we can come back in here and get this motor back together, which I'm very excited about. So let me pull this guy out real quick. We'll check bearings on, we'll check it out completely once it's out, check the rods like I said, and then we'll go from there. Hoot, 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 hoot. It is a lot lighter, that's for sure. Yeah, that's a good sign right there. So one thing that I'm noticing right this minute, all right, so one thing that I am noticing right now that's a good sign as far as the studs goes is that you can see cross hatching in each one of the main bearing where the crank rides, and which basically means that it's been line honed, and when it was taken apart, it also looks like all the cam bearings look really, really good. So cam bearings were put in last time it was gone through. As far as the cylinders go, it all looks super, super good. I don't see any issues as far as cylinder walls go. The biggest thing that I see is there's a little bit of side load wear on it, which, I mean, it's an old wore out motor at this point. But I mean, saying that, I don't see any major issues. There's no scoring, there's no nothing. It's just mostly oil. So this is one of the cleanest motors I've ever seen, which is actually super, super exciting because, again, I've never had an engine this nice. So all right, so we got the engine flipped back over. We're gonna look at the cylinders and stuff. We got the main caps back on, and that is something you should always do when you're working on a motor. It doesn't matter if you're working on, you know, a big block 502, you know, a billet aluminum race car motor. That old 283 sitting over there, straight 6, 4-cylinder, it doesn't matter. Make sure you put the main caps in back the way they came in the motor as soon as you get done. Because if you misplace them, you forget where they are. If you forget which ones go where, makes for a bad day. You have to go to the machine shop now and have them sort that out and line hone it, and you have to go through a bunch of stuff you shouldn't have to do if you just take the 5 minutes and put it back the other way it was. So just something really quick little tech tip as far as that goes, to check this thing over. But we got it all back in. All the main cap bearings look okay. I'm probably gonna go with new main cap bearings just so that we have them. But they're all standard, which is a good thing. The crank looks really good. We're going to work on probably polishing that in the video. We'll probably work on polishing it and kind of going through it when we go to assemble this motor. So we'll work on that. I'm going to probably pressure wash this. We're going to probably have a full cleaning video on everything. This is the full teardown video on this. So hopefully, but I mean, overall, the motor looks really, really, really good, which I'm excited about. So I'll grab a rag and just kind of scrape down some of the cylinders real quick and just kind of look at it. I really don't see, there's no lip on the top. They're not belled. There's really no scratches or anything in them. There's a couple just little ones, but you can barely catch with your finger. There's no pitting or anything. I think this is a decent little motor. I know it's bored 60 over and these are pretty thin for a 350, but it's fine. The only thing I've never seen before that this motor has is the way the lifter boards have been relieved for bushings. I've never seen that before. Now saying that, my lifter's going totally fine and they don't move any weirdly or anything, so it hasn't been bored over. It's just they've been machined for bushings, which again, I've never seen that before. But means nothing about whether or not this motor's junk or not good or anything like that. It doesn't mean any of that. It's just it has those now. Bores look good. All the bearings look good. Now it's time to just look at rods, and pretty much all I'm gonna do is just kind of like walk them over, just kind of glance over them, give them a quick kind of once over as far as if there's any kind of wear that you might see, if there's any kind of cracks or anything like that. But with them being as clean as they are, I mean, they look practically new. I can't imagine them having any real issues. And with an H-beam rod, typically you can see little wiggles in those, waves in those, if there's any kind of an issue or any kind of a glaring problem with them. But I'm not seeing any of that with these. So yeah, I'm excited. This is really, really good. So hopefully in the next little bit, you'll see us get rid of those crazy huge pistons that are on these. We'll get rid of these pistons for something a little bit flatter with a couple reliefs. The goal is to get this thing 10.5-ish to 1. 10.5, 10.8 to 1, maybe 10.9 to 1. We'll get it close to that. It needs 93. It'll always need 93, and that's fine. But we'll just make sure it, it's good, ready to rock and roll. Has decent compression, good heads, good cam, good intake. And I'm hoping this thing should run into the bottom 12s with ease. That's the goal. So, and with that, I think I'm gonna end this video off here. Next video, we'll be working on pressure washing, cleaning this dude out, making sure it's totally good and ready to rock and roll. In the next, before we get the pistons and the assembly part done, I'll show you how I clean the block and how I'm gonna prep it for paint and all the good stuff. And then I don't know if I'll dingle ball hood it. We'll see if we dingle ball. Honestly, the cylinders look really, really clean, so I don't know if that's even necessary. But we'll get those pistons off. We'll get the crank cleaned up, get it ready for assembly. Hopefully, my goal is to have this thing running by like late April. So we'll see how that goes. I also, like I said, have to take the 7R4 to the transmission shop. So we'll see how that looks. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of a teardown on this 388. Don't see anything glaringly obvious that's, oh, that's a really big issue. I think it's good and ready to rock and roll. So I am excited. This is a good $800 investment because now I have a scat crank sitting over there. We got good rods, good machine block ready to rock and roll. And hopefully we'll have a good running 388 in my Nova for like less than $3,500, which is awesome. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.